Hi, my name's Eddie, and if you bear with me, I'd like to tell you a story. I heard this story last week from a friend of mine named Rusty. It touched my heart, and I wanted to share it with you, and hopefully it can explain something to you, and maybe you can even share it to someone else. There's two men sitting on the same plane going to the same destination. The first man gets approached by a flight attendant and asks if he would like to receive this huge parachute, which would make his flight joyful, happy, peaceful, and make it one of the best flights that he's ever been on. And he goes, well, it seems kind of bizarre, seems kind of peculiar, but okay, I'll give it a shot. So he grabs the parachute, straps it on, buckles it in, and instantly he notices he can't even lean back in his seat anymore. In fact, the straps are digging into his shoulders a little bit, and he looks around and he notices that people over there and people over here are starting to make fun of him because he's wearing this huge, bulking parachute. Well, he doesn't like this, and in fact, he feels like it's making his flight even worse than if he wouldn't have had it. So what does he do? Naturally enough, he unbuckles the parachute, throws it to the ground, and goes on about his business, the whole time thinking that the flight attendant outright lied to him. Now, the same flight attendant goes up to a different man and gives him the exact same parachute, but instead of telling him how awesome the parachute will make him feel, she tells him that when the plane gets to 25,000 feet, the plane is going to lose power and it's going to crash and burn. And everybody on board that does not have one of these parachutes is going to die. The man doesn't want to hear anything else. He grabs the parachute, straps it on, clicks it in. Now he notices the same things. He can't lean back in his seat. The straps are kind of digging into his shoulders, but he doesn't care. You see, because he knew something that the first didn't. He knew that he needed the parachute. Not that he wanted it and it would make his flight better, but that he needed it for salvation, for safety, for life. There's no way that you're going to be able to separate that man from that parachute now. So the reason this story is being told, the reason the story was told to me and the reason I'm telling it to you is to point out the fact that when we tell people about Jesus, which is the ultimate parachute, the eternal parachute, when we tell people about Jesus, if we don't explain to them the need for Jesus, they're going to be just like the first man. They're going to look at the parachute, it's going to be huge and bulky, and they're not going to like it. It's not going to be a good fit because following after Christ ain't easy. Following after Christ ain't all about cupcakes and hot dogs. Sometimes there's going to be suffering. Sometimes there's going to be pain. Sometimes there's going to be sacrifice. But the man that was told that he needed that parachute, he wasn't worried about the suffering. He wasn't worried about the pain. He wasn't worried about the sacrifice because he knew he had to have it. Now, God says in the Word of God that in His Word that if you break His laws, that punishment is death. If you break any of His laws one time, the punishment is death. That is the plane. That is the plane going down in a big burning inferno of flames. If you were on this plane and relying upon your own strength, upon your own righteousness, upon your own innocence, you too will crash and burn. But there is a parachute being offered by flight attendants everywhere. At your local church, here on the internet, you can find it anywhere, and especially in the Word of God. Check it out yourself. The parachute is being offered. The explanation is that your sin in your life is going to destroy you unless you have it. That parachute is Jesus. Strap him on, keep him tight, don't ever let him go, and I promise you that he will see you safely to the ground. That is a promise He gave to me, and that is a promise I'm giving to you, because it is His word and He cannot lie. So if you have broken God's law at all, if you've ever lied, if you have ever stolen anything, if you have ever lusted after somebody in your heart, if you've ever used God's name in vain or any other countless of His commandments, if you've ever broken them, even in the slightest or littlest ways, you are on a plane that is going down. No man is perfect, so all men need a parachute. Jesus Christ is that parachute. Strap him on, never let him go, and he'll get you to the ground. I appreciate your time. Thank you.